If you don't mind, I'm going to start us off. I'll lead in. I'm just going to be recording most of the stuff for tonight. I appreciate everybody joining me in and being part of this. What I did was I gave you the agenda for tonight, which will include election of officers. I also gave you what started the whole thing off with ordinance 100, talking about the Conservation Commission. So in order to start off, you do need to have an election of officers. I'm looking to see if anybody is interested in being chair, and I have to have a motion and a second for that person to be at least on the vote roll. So I'll entertain motion for chair. Your motion, is it make it a motion?
I'm not computer. I don't use. I'm not computer active, so I'm not really a good person to be communicating with everybody on computer, with emails and all that stuff. So it's kind of.
Were you pointing to her for a reason? You wanted her to be chair?
Yeah. Well, I just.
Or secretary.
Did you want that?
Is that like the head person?
Yeah.
Yeah, would you like to
It's
be
just
chair?
that you conduct the meeting, so it's not like, it doesn't have an
Not
inordinate amount of responsibility. It's just, you start the meeting, you do the roll call.
Your
And,
job is basically to move the meeting along.
yeah, right.
Yeah. If you want me to, I've never done it before.
Well,
Did you want it more?
No.
No? Okay. Then you got one.
So wait a minute, you have a motion for,
Heather?
yeah,
Yeah.
who's making the motion?
I will.
I second.
Heather was
Any other people interested? Heather?
person.
Yeah. Heather, is there anybody else who's interested in being chair? You quickly shake your head no, okay. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor of Heather being chairperson for this committee, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Good to go. I'll go through the rest for you to help you out, so that's okay?
Yeah, so,
All right, we do need a vice chair, so in case either you can't make it or unavailable,
It's okay with you guys. You're okay with that?
you have to make a motion
I
for
believe any of
Catherine.
us.
That's, if is there's also needs to be a recording secretary.
We'll get there, one at a time.
And that's pretty much it.
That is it.
So,
So who's making the motion for Catherine?
I will make the motion for Kim.
Okay.
a second.
Any other people wishing to be vice chair?
It's
All in
Robert's
favor,
rules of
say
order.
aye.
If you
Aye.
ever want to, if you have nothing to do, just go online and look at Robert's Rules of Order, because that's how the meeting is conducted, so there's protocol.
okay.
Just
like-
give me a
it's just
call,
like-
I'll walk you through it all.
It's a meeting,
Okay.
it's like,
Okay?
All right.
I've got a set of Robert's rules for you if you wanted to.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Great, okay.
kind of helpful.
So again, one more time, all in favor of Catherine vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Recording secretary. Recording secretary is basically what I'm doing right now. I'm going to take the minutes of the meeting, very, very simple. And so we're looking for somebody to be recording secretary.
You have to be able to write that.
So who would like to motion for
And
that?
legibly,
I guess I'll,
and you have to submit
make a motion?
the
I make
minutes
a
to the
motion
town clerk
for.
okay.
sometime.
Roxanne.
Roxanne. I make a motion for Roxanne to be recording secretary.
Have a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just that simple. Now you have 3 officers ready to go. You have an agenda ready to go. And we'll go over the agenda on the next one, okay? So the meeting's now with full roll call. What you normally do is say roll call, and you'll ask everybody just to give their name out loud.
In a circle.
Yeah.
Catherine,
Otherwise,
Catherine Howard.
you're next.
Roxanne Boyce.
Nick Anderson, regular member,
And Heather person.
chairperson.
Okay, so then after that, you go down your roll call. You then call the meeting to order officially.
Okay.
And then after that, you would go into asking if there's any additions or corrections.
You want me to?
Call.
No.
Just ask, right, just go ahead and say it.
Oh, so I call a meeting to order, it's 7:05, right?
Perfect.
And additions or corrections to the agenda.
Nobody has any? Good.
Not presently.
Just as a starting point, we put in new business talking about the Quinnebog River Trail. Nick, do you remember anything about that one, about the trail itself, where that guy's left off on that? If not, I can give you an update.
It's been about a year and a half.
Okay. So this is a good time to talk about the things that are happening with the Quinnebog Valley Trail. Has you ever walked the trail from Killeen side of it?
No.
Years ago.
Okay. They've got a great paved area for a walking trail. Very, very nice. But it stops just behind where you see the old Benny's. It's back there, right along the river trail. The state of Connecticut had worked with Killingly and Plainfield to see if they can get some monies, which they did, to move that trail forward. They'd like to be able to pave it further down, going all the way along the Quinnebog, and come out eventually where you come all the way up to Route 205. And then go across up behind Hatchery over to Katy Lane on Black Hill Road. So far, we've had a roadblock, which was the Connecticut deep fish portion of that deep, and they didn't want anybody by the hatchery. I offered to purchase a camera system for them. I offered to purchase fencing, put up some blockade area for them. They didn't want to take us up on the offer. Finally, in the last 3 weeks, they finally said yes to do that. But they're going to take care of it, they'll purchase everything themselves.
DEP, you were going to help them financially?
Yeah,
DEP's going to pay for the
pay for all of that.
security, you mean?
Their problem is along that trail on our side of it is the dirt bikes and the four-wheelers that continually go through there and make a mess. And not only people not wanting to walk because of that, but it takes away the monies that we give to that. So finally they worked something out, they'll be able to work forward on that one. And that's that part of the Quinnebog Valley Trail, the river trail that we're talking about. There are other things going on, and I will just mention it very quickly. Have you ever walked the Moosa Valley Trail? The Moosa Valley Trail is down at the, where it comes out right now is where in downtown Moosa, right beside the Dunkin' Donuts, there's that trolley bridge right there that goes all the way into Rhode Island. And the state DP on our side of it for Connecticut just redid the trail. Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, the issues were coming up with the dirt bikes and the four-wheelers, and I think they've resolved that issue at this point. So if you have a chance, go ahead and take a look at that
On the
because,
Sterling side.
yep, it's really nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Now, the reason why I mentioned that is because we're looking at a tie-in to tie in both of those together. So there's monies available from the state to do that with. So at your next meeting, I'll mention more of that and kind of share them with you. But that's what's going on with the Quinnebog River Trail. Would you like me to bring at the next meeting some of the plans for that? That way you can see it.
Please.
That'd be great.
So that's,
If there's any other discussion, you can probably move on to the next one.
normally we have to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. So that's part of the housekeeping of the meeting.
Because we didn't supply it for you, we'll get it for the next meeting.
We
Some
haven't
state has
met
funds.
for about a year and a half, so there's no old minutes to approve.
Motion to table those to the next meeting. If Dustin would actually make the motion, and someone second it.
Yeah.
Say that again?
You make a motion to table the approval of the minutes, number 5.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion to table the approval of the meeting minutes from last month.
To the next
Last
To
year.
the next meeting. It was last year. So we're going to second that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So you kind of like, looking at the agenda, you would call out the next thing on the agenda that's going to be.
So it'd be old business, but we have, we don't have anything. Other business, review and act on 2025 meeting dates.
I'm going to ask ask to table that, and I'll give you a full list for your next meeting. For your next meeting, we'll have the whole thing. Okay?
Yeah, they're all printed out.
Motion to table?
Second. A motion to, I make a motion to table it to the next meeting.
Yes.
All in favor?
Next year.
I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
for Haley.
It's minor things, but you're in charge of the meeting, so you would say
Yeah,
all in
Yeah,
favor.
you've been
Yeah,
moving
she
along.
would say.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then citizen participation,
That's if there's a guest here that wants to
Aye.
speak.
Anything you want to say?
I guess I would just ask that you guys maybe.
Come on over,
Okay.
come on over, sit down.
Hi. My name is Jeanette Evans. My wife.
Yep.
My wife is taking great passion into the site over here.
Which one? You have
on
two.
the Inner Royal,
In a row, okay.
yeah, a site cleanup, but I really don't know where it's at now. And I know there was a spill on the site. I know that when I read the report from the EPA in 94, 92,
Way back.
yeah, and they never really tested the water leaving into Horse Brook.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's going to happen with the, I don't know if zoning came up with a new, if they got any grant to test the site,
Mm-hmm.
but I just wanted to make sure, because there's people living all along, back down there. And also like the security of the site, because I know over here, there's cuts in the fences, and people really shouldn't be on the property.
Yep.
So those are just things I wanted to talk about. Because it's where the community is, we're right next to this site.
If you've got a half an hour,
Yeah,
let me see if I can do a quick catch up on the project over there. The state of Connecticut has been working with the town of Plainfield on possibility of cleanup. Grant monies were given many, many years. Each and every 5 years, you have to do new testing because the information you get from the testing tells you where the materials are, how much of a concentration it is of chemicals. And every 5 years, they could plume out a little further.
yeah.
So that they could dissipate or plume further. So we had already been applying for grants. We received recently $500,000 in grants to do testing. And we've been working with, again, it's about 2 or 3 booklets worth of information. You're welcome to come in and I can show you everything, but right at this point, you'll see that there's a big sign up on the back fence. Talks about that they're working on a project back here for an inter-royal. I can give you the short of it. There's $500,000 coming in there for assessment and partial cleanup. The rest of the money for the cleanup is about $16 million. We're applying for a community investment fund grant. That grant will give us an opportunity to go in there, once it's approved from the state of Connecticut, to do a full cleanup. When we get the grant, we're applying December 13th, I think is the cutoff date. We're applying for that grant with a developer in the town of Plainfield who is going to say that he will purchase, if it's approved for the monies, he will purchase it outright. He will then go in to wait for the cleanup to continue and occur. Once the cleanup is done, he's going to put up housing for sections of housing over here where the main building is. He'd like to put up an indoor sports complex. So it'll be like a big flat area which you can block off with multiple fields. The other one would be where the R&D building is in the front, to put that into a restaurant. So what does that do for everybody? Well, there's a lot of great things that happen. Number one, it's cleaned up. It needs cleaning up, period. Number two, the other thing would be, once it's back in the rolls, meaning taxes, you can then tax the property.
Yeah.
It gets jobs, it gets taxable property, it gets places to live, it gets a small restaurant, more things and activities to be done, because you have an indoor sports complex. That's the plan. So, have we been doing something? Absolutely, we've been doing something for a long time on that.
So what's the time frame look like now that it actually, because I've been hearing about this cleanup for probably 20 years. really.
Mhm.
It's actually on the agenda to get done.
Yeah.
in the
Okay, so when would it get done? First, we have to go through the process of applying. Once the application is put in, the state of Connecticut is asking us. We applied before with an incomplete grant. They want us to come back because they heard about the grant, they heard what we're going to do with it. They liked it so much, they keep on asking us, this is the next round, when are you guys going to put it in?
So that's when you get the bigger chunk of money.
Yep, oh, yeah, there's $16 million in.
So that's
So-
really what it takes to do the job.
Yep, so what's going to happen is we put the application in, they review all the applications, they come back and they say, here are the winning projected applications. So that happens probably in February, I think, when they actually come back and say, okay, your application's worthy, we're going to do the work. Then you have to go through the whole process of putting out the bid for cleanup.
Yeah.
Who's going
That's
to
the
do the
beginning
cleanup?
of the.
Yep.
beginning of
Is there anything that, in the meantime, can we do, that we can do to mitigate people from getting on the property? Because I know there's cuts in the fences.
Oh, that part of that $500,000 that we got, we're looking to actually do as best we can with closing it back up. The problem with closing it back up, and we'll try, is that people come along and they sniff the fence and they want to go in and look at the property and do drone videos or whatever they want to do with it. And so if they're found on there, we will ask them to get out or be arrested. So, a couple years ago, we had some people who were living there and we got them out.
I could get the rest of it off there.
What about, like, testing the water that comes?
All that
off the
testing's
site?
being done.
Like, they'll test Forest Brook, like the water that
Yep.
comes off from the site
Yep.
too?
Not to mention the fact that you know what that was. It was Interoil was building hospital furniture for many years.
Yeah.
And that was well before DPID had established certain criteria for what should and shouldn't be on the property, meaning what chemicals. It's called a brownfield for a reason. So the chemicals have been, we've decided where the chemicals are. There's 7 piles that are going to be cleaned out of there eventually. So those will all be taken care of, and testing will be done again, because you have to make sure that once you're taking it out, you know there's nothing left in the area. So there's a lot of process, but I believe that will be award the contract, that then it goes out to bid for who's going to do the cleanup, and how long it takes to do that, we don't know. But it is being started. We've been working on this for about 4 years, maybe 5, just as part of it. And so we were very fortunate that the state of Connecticut was able to find monies for its grants, and that's what we're applying for. So it's a very, very valid developer. If anybody knows the developer, he's the gentleman who also bought out the old Better Value and renovated it. He just purchased the Doyle's Drug. He's going to look to renovate that, and we have businesses there.
You're talking about the old grocery store that's a storage center now? No?
You know, just up the top of the hill here, the old Better Value, which is now Granite City Electric,
Dallas.
Dollar Tree, a photography spot, and Marie's studio.
Oh, yeah.
What, Doyle's Drugs?
Doyle's Drug.
Oh, they have a sign up for police.
Yep.
Somebody called me out today, it was one.
He's looking for, right now, he's looking for apartments above. He's looking for 3 fast food type places there, one being, he's talking to, I shouldn't say what it is out loud, he's talking to those 3. Hopefully we can get him in.
So I just added some historical perspective to the intro. Before they made hospital beds, they did textiles, and they dyed textiles there. And the dyes that they used got into the water in this aquifer here. That's back in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
When Interoil was a textile mill before, and then it was whatever.
A woolen mill.
Yeah, woolen mill. So, and the hospital beds and stuff didn't come till like the 60s, late 50s or 60s, but there was a lot of dye went into the ground and into the water.
Yeah.
So that's why that's still in there.
Believe it or not, it's not so much the water, it's more the chemicals that are in the ground.
And from that period, they don't go anywhere.
If you want to come in and take a look at what I've got for pet papers, I'm happy to share that with you. That was a great question.
Thank you.
All right, Gagny, I just want to thank all of you for stepping up, joining the Conservation Commission. It's dear to my heart. I'm glad we're finally meeting again. Nick, for coming back. Great. We're going to get you 3 more members. Continue to work on it.
1 full-time, 3 alternate.
Oh, is it? So 4 more members. No, whatever. We'll work on it.
So the next meeting date is the 16th of December?
I think you have to close the public hearing.
Oh, okay.
No,
No, okay, sorry.
We're done.
So I make a motion to adjourn.
got a motion, anybody second?
Second?
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
We're now adjourned, 7:20.